Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, otherwise known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. This week is a smorgasbord. I got a few topics to talk about. To start with, I started a new game. I had been buying a bunch of free games on PlayStation Plus and then never downloading or playing them, but I decided to give my Vita some love, and I downloaded a game I'd bought a couple months ago, Amnesia Memories. It's a visual novel where you are a girl who is struck with amnesia, and you have to piece your life back together by talking to people and figuring out who you are. There's a weird little sprite or something named Orion that got lodged in your brain, and that's what knocked out your memories. So you have to get your memories back to push him out of your brain, and that's a good goal because he's kind of irritating, so I kind of would like to get rid of him. It's also funny because after the prologue where he basically explains the situation, he asks you to pick one of 4 parallel worlds, which might be your home. So you pick one. I picked one at random, and I was actually kind of excited because when that chapter started, I discovered that my boyfriend in this world was Kent, who was the boy that I thought looked the cutest in the opening credits with his glasses and everything. I thought he was dreamy. So I was very excited that, oh yes, I picked the right world, and Kent is my boyfriend. Unfortunately, Kent turned out to be like a massive drip. He's horrible, and I don't know why I was going out with him, because he's so boring, and I'm just like, you're really cute, but you're super boring, so, yikes. So I don't know if I'll find other boys to date, or if he will get more interesting over the course of the game. I don't know, I've literally only just started it, so I don't know. I assume that each one of those 4 worlds is a different boy that is your boyfriend. Like, it's a different world with a different life and a different boyfriend, and you play to the end and whatever. And like, if you play through all 4 of those, it would probably unlock a 5th world that'll be like the good ending or the real ending or something. I don't know, but it's cute, and I'm enjoying it. The only thing is that all the voices are in Japanese, so I read the English word balloon, and then I'll hit X to move to the next one, and sometimes they're not done talking, because I don't know what they're saying, so I don't know when they're done. So I like to let dialogue play out in video games, because they've recorded these voices. I feel like I should listen to them. And I'm trying to do the same thing here, even though I don't understand a word they're saying. I'm just polite that way. Speaking of PlayStation Plus, I just wanted to offer up a recommendation. November, PlayStation Plus will be giving away Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which regular viewers might recall I bought back like at the beginning of the summer, because I had heard great things about it. It sounded really intriguing. It sounded like something that was totally up my alley, and they were having like a flash sale on indie games, and it was marked down to like $8, and I said, fine, I'll get it for $8. I'm sure I'll get $8 worth of enjoyment out of it. And I totally did. But it's great. The soundtrack is amazing. The graphics are stunning. So if you're interested, if you think it sounds interesting to walk around a beautiful English countryside village and piece together clues to try to figure out where everyone has disappeared to, pick it up, because it's free if you have a PS4. It's definitely worth that price. And, like, you know, if it's free and you don't like it, then you just delete it, and there's no skin off your teeth. Or no skin off your nose? I don't know, whatever. But again, it's sort of why I tend not to buy indie games, because it seems to me that more often than not, the bigger indie games will end up being free for Xbox and PlayStation, you know, through Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus. you know, they don't give away the AAA titles very often. It's a lot of times it's the indie games. So spending $20 on an indie game is kind of, I tend not to want to do that because I feel like they're shorter and you're not going to feel like you got your money's worth. And also 6 to 8 months later they'll just show up for free and there you go. So, but definitely I recommend Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Speaking of indie games that people don't think are worth the money, I just want to talk about No Man's Sky for a little bit here because, as you know, I'm obsessed with it. I'm still playing it, but this past week, there's a lot of people who aren't. They're very upset about this game, and they felt that it was an indie game that was not worth the $60, and even though I've totally gotten $60 worth of enjoyment out of this game already, and I'm still playing it, they said this was a small indie game, it should never have been a AAA title, why did Sony do this? And they're blaming Sean Murray, but I think you kind of need to also throw some blame towards Sony because they're the ones that said, oh, we're going to hype this up and make it a big AAA release and make it a big thing, and it's not just going to be a small indie game anymore. And they're kind of more to blame than Sean, but everybody's like, oh, they overpromised and underdelivered. And this past week, a tweet came out from Hello Games that said, No Man's Sky was a mistake. And it was very quickly deleted, but the internet was all over it. All over it. And it turns out that they're saying that it was not Sean who tweeted that, it was a disgruntled employee of Hello Games, and they are dealing with it internally. And, you know, it sounds logical, I don't know, but they've gone radio silent, which totally I get, because if the entire internet is out for your blood, of course you're going to keep a low profile. But I just wish everybody would just get over it, you know? Because, like, it had kind of died down a little, but then this happened, and now everybody's all, No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky, we hate you, we hate you. And, you know, I'm part of the small, admittedly probably small group of people who are still enjoying the game, and we think that it was great. And, like, I freely admit that there are things that I wish had been expanded upon. I wish certain things had been tweaked, you know, but overall, I'm fine, because I was promised a game where I would be able to travel from randomly generated planet to randomly generated planet, discovering randomly generated flora and fauna of all kinds of crazy, wild looks, and I've gotten that. Like, that's what this game is. So I'm like, what were you all expecting that you didn't get? Because this is what I was promised. And it's not even like, I'm so confused because I was watching YouTube videos, I was reading articles, I was super hyped for this game, and I'm still, like, mostly satisfied with it. I mean, obviously, there's things I wish were included that were not, but whatever. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm not dissatisfied where I want my money back. Games come out all the time that overpromise and underdeliver. I have bought tons of games on launch day and regretted it. You know, it happens. If you can get your money back, great. If not, then suck it up and learn your lesson. This is why you wait for a game to come out and for the reviews to come out, and then you can read the reviews that will say, oh, well, we were expecting this, but it's actually more like this, and they were promising that, and we only got this. And then you either say, that still sounds fine, or you read it and go, ooh, no, this isn't what I wanted, so no, I won't be buying this. And it saves your money. You know? It makes sense. But I mean, there's games where I'll read about a game and they're like, we don't think this sounds really good, it turned out it's just like this, and I'm like, actually that sounds pretty awesome, so I'll totally buy it. You know? So even though they're giving it kind of a negative review, I'm like, hey, that sounds fun. And if anybody was going to be upset about No Man's Sky, it should be me. Because if you're a long-time viewer of this podcast, you know that I literally bought a PlayStation 4 for No Man's Sky. That was the PlayStation exclusive that made me go, alright, now I'm going to drop the money on a PlayStation 4. I mean, granted, there's other games. I've played other games, like Uncharted and Until Dawn and Tearaway and whatever. Like, I've played other games. I didn't just buy a PlayStation for one game, because that would be ridiculous. Who does that? You're obviously going to play other games. But that was the one, like, they've had other exclusives, but I was like, meh, I'll play it eventually. No Man's Sky was the PlayStation exclusive that made me say, now I will buy this console because that game I want to play. And I was hyped up for it. I bought it on launch day. I got up. I took that day and the next day off work. I got up, went to Best Buy, picked up my game, wishing now that I had bought the digital version so I wouldn't have to keep swapping discs when I wanted to watch a movie, but whatever. I played it 2 days straight. I went back to work. Hated being at work because I wished I was exploring the universe. I've been playing it nonstop. I will admit that in October, I haven't been playing it every day. It's more like every other day, every few days, whatever. I'm not playing it every day, but I'm still playing it. So, I'm not disappointed. I'm not regretting my purchase. I'm still super psyched. So, I just wish everybody would just get over it, and also stop blaming Sean Murray. If I ever saw Sean Murray, I would want to give him a hug, because I feel like he needs a hug. I would just like to say thank you for this game. I like it. Don't listen to them. I would also like to give Sean Murray a hug because I think he's kind of hot. But whatever. I would also like to give him a reassuring hug. And then to finish up this week's episode, there was an amazing book that just came out that I had pre-ordered on Amazon called Art of Atari. And if you are into retro gaming, this is a great, great book. It basically takes you through the whole history of Atari's. I didn't realize they were going to go into all the history of Atari, but they go into the whole history, how they developed the logo, how they developed the systems, and then it takes you through each one of the home consoles, and there's all these great old pictures, and then they go through every game, and they talk about all the artwork, because this is what it was supposed to be about. I wasn't expecting all the history of the company and all that awesome stuff, you know, and it's all about, like, the great artwork that sold these games, and it's so, so cool. And they give profiles on all of the artists and stuff, and then, like, at the end, they talk about all the design of all the systems and everything. There's so much cool stuff in here, it's ridiculous. I want one of these jackets. So if you're into retro gaming, I recommend this book. It's fantastic. I haven't finished reading it yet. As you can see, it's humongous and it's a brick. But I have gone through all of the pictures, and they're fantastic. So check that out if you're into retro gaming and or Atari. I will see you back here next week, where I'll have more to talk about. Hopefully more boyfriend drama in Amnesia Memories. And I'll see you then. Happy gaming!